The Free State has some of the worst performing municipalities in the country. Now, according to the Auditor General, none of the province's municipalities received a clean audit. For reaction to this, we're joined by the spokesperson for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in Free State, Silo Ditebe. Silo, good morning and thank you very much for your time. Firstly, your reaction. We understand that the MEC, Kolisi Dugwana, had in fact committed to meet the AG on Monday. We'll touch on what exactly was discussed there, but just the portfolio's reaction to this, that they failed to actually get any clean audits in the province.
Yeah, good morning to you and the viewers. Indeed, as you would know, this relates to the audit outcomes insofar as they affect the fourth administration, and this being the fifth administration in municipalities, as the Auditor General has herself exhorted all role players in this area. Everything is being done to correct what the fourth administration could not achieve. And on the issue of the meeting with the Auditor General, indeed, that did happen at the offices of the Auditor General last week. And we have committed to a number of things that need to be done in line with the media release and the consolidated report that the Auditor General has issued.
Can you just first tell me or take me through the intention? What was the purpose? Was it perhaps to get more clarity or even take advice from the Auditor General, because they seem to a certain extent really emphasize the role of COGTA in the proper functioning of municipalities? What was the intention behind the visit?
You will have seen that in the media release of the Auditor General herself. She implored all role players, the mayors, the premiers, the members of the executive councils, legislatures, everybody, including community organizations, and even experts in this field of local government, to do everything to help transform local government, to ensure the financial health of local government. So the purpose of the visit was twofold. Indeed, to seek to understand better certain particular issues which the Auditor General had concerns about with regards to Free State municipalities. You will know that there are quite a few of our municipalities like Litsimeng, Kopanong, and others where there would have been annual financial statements outstanding, and in others where there would have been no movement in respect of the audit findings, be it qualified or whatever adverse financial reporting that the Auditor General has spoken about. So, but not only that, but to ourselves respond proactively and concretely with regards to all of the areas that the Auditor General has flagged. Preceding that meeting with the Auditor General was an internal meeting where teams were set up within the department to ensure that the next audit findings are not as adverse as these, or at least there are very clear signs of movement away from the adverse reports that we have seen.
I take it, though, that this administration, upon coming in, the first agenda would have been to go on a fact-finding mission to see how some of these municipalities are running insofar as their reporting and accounting systems and delivery to the citizens. What have you established in your own fact-finding mission? What are the issues in most of these municipalities? Is it capacity insofar as financial accountants are concerned, where they're not properly accounting for monies used, or is it pure corruption?
Well, it's a bit of both. You will have seen that the Auditor General herself actually says where financial accountants are used for purposes of preparing annual financial statements, and this refers to South Africa as a whole, not only the Free State. Of course, the Free State would not be unaffected in that regard, that there would still be, first of all, something in excess of 11.6 billion rand using such consultants, and yet they would not get things right. So, in other words, what we want to say here is that, yes, there is corruption, as you would have seen that there is a report of the Hawks, where most of our municipalities that are affected by the incidents of corruption are in fact being investigated. but there would also be lack of skills in respect of those particular municipalities, lack of accountability. It's a mixture of a number of things, lack of political will in the main, because remember that annual financial statements are used by municipal councils to ensure that the municipal manager, as the accounting officer, together with senior management, actually do their job in accordance with stipulated legislation and regulations.
Some have attempted to diagnose the problem, and some of those who have say it's over-politicization of an administrative function. That here it's purely cadre deployment that has led to some of these municipalities being dysfunctional. What would you say to that?
Well, municipalities, let me just make an example with Machabeng. If you take the 5th administration, as at the 1st of June, you've had 2 PhDs employed in, first of all, cooperative services, and this is a PhD in public administration. Not only that, somebody who's been leading in one of the academic institutions, but is also from Machabeng, Dr. Vuyo Adonis. If you take also the LED, local economic development, also a PhD in economics, as of the 1st of June. So this obviously is a very large vessel, and we need to steer it away from the iceberg. And everything is being done to correct what mistakes have been made in the 4th administration and even previous administrations. And you will know that at the moment, the Auditor General of South Africa has in fact been empowered. There are material irregularities that are being reported from time to time, be it with regards to financial reporting or the state of the infrastructure, if people are being given tenders and they don't do what they're supposed to do, or there's simply a vandalization of such infrastructure. From time to time, such notices are issued. So on our part as COCTA, all of these things, it's not necessarily something that we reacted to upon the release of these findings. On a continuous basis, we work with municipalities, but you will also appreciate that the drafters of our constitution fashioned it in such a way that there would be 3 spheres of government, yes, where, of course, we play oversight, but it does not mean that we are hands-off in this situation.
No, Mr. Dithebe, thank you very much for your inputs to this conversation. That's Silo Dithebe, spokesperson for the Free State Cooperative Governance Department.